Well, welcome back for another reading of Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. That's right. Hey, and if you haven't been here before, we like to set the mood before we dive into the reading now. We get the lights and we get on the old D-Harp, the old Suzuki Pro-Master 350. A link in the description for the affiliate album. Oh yeah, we're doing a little soft medleys here this morning. That's right. All right, before we dive into what story we're gonna tell tonight, the Willow Wren. That's correct. All right. Let me get my breath back from all them drawings. In days gone by, every sound had its meaning and application. When the smith's hammer resounded, it cried, "Strike away, strike away." When the carpenter's plane grated, it said, "Here goes, here goes." And if the mill's wheel began to clack, it said, "Help, Lord God, help, Lord God." And if the miller was a cheat and happened to leave the mill, it spoke High German, and the first asked slowly, "Who's there? Who is there?" And then answered quickly, "The miller, the miller." And the last, quite in a hurry, "He steals bravely, he steals bravely. 3 pecks in a bushel." At this time the birds also had their own language, which everyone understood. Now it only sounds like chirping, screeching, and whistling. It is something like music without words. And it came into the birds' mind, however, that they would no longer be without a ruler, and would choose one of themselves to be their king. One alone among them, the green plover, was opposed to this. He had lived free and would die free, and anxiously flying hither and thither, he cried, "Where shall I go? Where shall I go?" And he retired into solitarity and unfrequented marsh, and showed himself no more among his fellows rather. The birds now wished to discuss the matter, and on a fine May morning they all gathered together from the woods and fields. Eagles and chaffinches, owls and crows, larks and sparrows. How can I name them all? Even the cuckoo came, and the hoopoe, his clerk, who is so called because he always heard a few days before him, and a very small bird which has yet had no name, mingled with the band. The hen, which by some accident had heard nothing of the whole matter, was astonished at the great assemblage. What is going to be done?" she cackled, but the cock claimed his beloved hen and said only rich people, and told her what they had on hand. It was decided, however, that the one who could fly the highest should be king. A tree frog, which was sitting amongst the bushes, when he heard that, cried a warning, "No, no, no, no," because he thought that many tears would be shed because of this. But the crow said, "Caw, caw," and that would pass off peaceably. It was now determined on this fine morning that they should at once to ascend, so that hereafter no one should be able to say, "I could have easily flown much higher," but the evening came on, and I could do no more. On the given signal, therefore, the whole troop rose up into the air. The dust ascended from the land, and there was tremendous fluttering and whirring and beating of wings, and it looked as if a black cloud was rising up. The little birds were, however, soon left behind. They could go no farther, and fell back to ground. The larger birds held out longer, but none could equal the eagle, who mounted so high that he could have pecked the eyes out of the sun. When he saw that the others could not get up to him, he thought, "Why shall I fly still higher? I am the king." and he began to let himself down again. And the birds beneath him at once cried, "You must be our king. No one has flown so high." "Except me," screamed the little fellow without the name, who had crept into the breast feathers of the eagle. And as he was not at all tired, he rose up and mounted so high that he reached heaven itself. When, however, he had gone as far as this, he folded his wings together and called down with clear and penetrating voice, "I am king! I am king!" "You are king!" cried the birds angrily. "You have come past it by trick and cunning." And so they made another condition. He should be king who could go down lowest in the ground. How the goose did flap about with its broad breast when it was once more on the land. How quickly the cock scratched a hole. The duck came off the worst of all, for she leapt into a ditch, but sprained her legs and waddled away to a neighboring pond, crying, "Cheatin'! Cheatin'!" The little bird without a name, however, sought out a mouse hole and slipped down into it and cried out of it with his small voice, "I am king! I am king!" "You are king!" cried the bird still more angrily. "Do you think your cunning shall prevail?" They determined to keep him prisoner in the hole and starve him out. The owl was placed as sentinel in front of it, and was not to let the rascal out if she had any value for her life. When evening was come, all the birds were feeling very tired and exerting their wings so much, so they went to bed with their wives and children. The owl alone remained standing by the mouse hole, gazing steadfastly into it with her great eyes. In the meantime, she too had grown tired and thought to herself, "You might certainly shut one eye, you will still watch with the other, and that little miscreant shall not come out of this hole." So she shut one eye and with the other looked straight at the mouse hole. The little fellow put his head out and peeped, and wanted to slip away, but the owl came forward immediately, and drew his head back again. And then the owl opened her eye once again and shut the other, intending to shut them in turn all through the night. But when she next shut the one eye, she forgot to open the other, and soon as both her eyes were shut, she fell asleep. The little fellow soon observed that and slipped away. From that day forth, the owl has never dared show herself by daylight, for if she does, the other birds will chase her and pluck her feathers out. She only flies out by night, but hates and pursues mice because they are such ugly holes. The little bird, too, is very unwilling to let himself be seen, because he is afraid it will cost him his life if he is caught. He steals about in the hedges, and when he is quite safe, he sometimes cries, "I am king," and for this reason the other birds call him, in mockery, "King of the Hedges." No one, however, was so happy as the lark for not having to obey the little king. As soon as the sun appears, she ascends high in the air and cries, "Oh, how beautiful it is! Beautiful that is! Beautiful, beautiful! Oh, how beautiful that is!" And that has been the Willow Wren from Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. That's right. I got a little affiliate link down in the description for Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. Give it a click, support the channel, get your own copy. That's right. Get in on it. If and you like, that is. Let's take us out with a little melody, which I don't know. I haven't previously practiced. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. Oh, it started off strong, and then it just flew away like a wren in the willows there in the hedges, keeping away by the owls. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I got a little carried away there, a couple parts. Who's to say? But we had us some fun. I know I had me some fun. I hope you did too. So, kisses to the missus, and a tip of the hat to your old cat. And I hope to see you on the next one. That's right. You hear? You understand? I hope you do. Come on back now, all right?